Hello everyone. We have started our second chapter, that is climate, and in our previous chapter we had discussed about the various factors affecting the climate of India, and we had discussed about in brief the climate of India. So today we will see the monsoon phenomenon and its mechanism. So monsoons, before that we had discussed that monsoons are periodic or seasonal winds and they develop because of differential heating as well as cooling of the land and sea. So there are two types of wind system in India. So differential heating and cooling of the land and sea. Monsoon varies from place to place. So before starting this chapter, I just want to tell you something which is very interesting. Just remember two words, low pressure and high pressure. Clear? Low pressure and high pressure. So what is low pressure? Low pressure means in any place where the temperature is very high. Means opposite. Low means temperature is very high and high pressure means where temperature is very low. Okay. So you just remember this term, low pressure and high pressure, and always winds blow from high pressure to low pressure, means where the temperature is low to where the temperature is high. Is it clear? Now just try to understand or try to remember this term. Low pressure, low means high temperature and high pressure means low temperature. Clear? Yes. And in India there are if you will divide the wind system, there are two types of wind system. The first one is summer monsoon and the second one is winter monsoon. Clear? So in summer, the lands get heated more than the sea. Obviously, because of the sun rays, the lands get heated more than the sea. Hence, there develop a center of low pressure on the land. Obviously, in summer, why there is a low pressure? Because here the temperature in the land is high. For that, it is low pressure. And if you will see, it's vice versa in the sea, because their temperature is very low. So the pressure is very high. So in summer the winds blow from lands and sea. If you will see, the winds blow from sea to land. Clear? Now in this month means May, June or July, the plains of the Indian subcontinent are heated by the vertical rays of the sun. The intense heat develops a low pressure. Because of the high heat, high temperature, it develops low pressure. During this month, over the Indian Ocean, high pressure areas develops. Why the Indian Ocean parts is high pressure? Because temperature is low. So the winds blow from Indian Ocean northward and northwestward into Asia. So from Indian Ocean, it blows from northward or northwest part of the Asia. Is it clear? Now as they blow from sea to land, they bring heavy rainfall in some parts of the Indian subcontinent. And the summer monsoon which blow from southwest, they are called southwest summer monsoon. So they are called southwest summer monsoon. So the summer monsoon which blows from southwest sides from the Indian Ocean, it is called southwest summer monsoon. Very easy, clear? So in summer season, the temperature of the land is very high, and in the, if you see in the ocean part or in the sea part, the temperature is low. So we know that winds moves from high to low, means the winds blow from Indian Ocean to the northwest part or north part of the Asia. So the part where it blows, or the southwest part of winds which blow from the southwest part, that is called southwest summer monsoon. Clear? Now next one is winter monsoon. This is also very easy. So during the winter season, the condition are uh, just opposite in summer. So a high pressure develops over a big landmass stretching from the Central Asia up to the northwest Indian plains. At the same time, a low pressure zone develops in the Indian Ocean. As the winds blow from the land to sea, they bring cool, dry weather. They are incapable of producing rain. Now, in winter time, just see, in winter time, the temperature of land is less. So, temperature is less means land is in the high pressure. And if you will see in the sea part or in the ocean part, the temperature is high. So, it is low pressure zone. Clear? So, in winter season, the winds blow from land to sea, and just because the winds blow from land to sea, they don't have that moisture and they don't have that the condition for producing rain. So, they are incapable of producing rain. However, in the southern part, if you will see, then they are in the winter monsoon. For that southeast winter monsoon, they produce rain, and there is a heavy rainfall in Tamil Nadu and other parts of the southern tip of Andhra Pradesh. Clear? So, we will discuss in details afterwards. So, it is very easy what is summer monsoon and what is winter monsoon. Summer monsoon is influenced by southwest summer monsoon, and winter monsoon is influenced by northeast winter monsoon. Northeast winter monsoon. Hopefully this is also clear to you. In summertime, the winds blow from sea to land, and in winter it's just exact opposite. Clear? Now next one, 4 seasons. So if you see in India, the coastal areas, due to the influence of the sea, they do not experience much variation in temperature, as like in Mumbai also. If you see, there is not so much variation in temperature, or you are not feeling exactly these 4 types of monsoon seasons. But if you will go a little bit of the interior part or the in the central part of the India, then you will clearly experience these 4 type of seasons. So from March to May in India, there is hot and dry summer season. Hopefully now you all are experiencing hot and dry summer season. And then after that, all of you know about Mumbai rains. So you know about hot and wet rainy season. And then after that, our third season is the retreating southwest monsoon from October to November, and the cold and dry winter monsoons, which you are not experiencing too much because you are living nearby the coastal areas, but the interior part of the India, they are experiencing cold and dry winter monsoon. Clear? So in the if you will see, the full year is divided into 4 principal seasons on the basis of monsoon variations. So these are the 4 variations. Clear? So we will discuss in details one by one. The hot and dry summer, or the hot and dry summer seasons. So if you see in India, it begins in the month of March, and here also we discussed from March to say May. So it begins in the month of March and lasts until June. Now the vertical rays of the sun fall directly to the over the Tropic of Cancer during this period. We had discussed when we had discussed about the factors, then we had discussed about the location of India. There we had seen that we are nearby the Tropic of Cancer. So for that vertical rays of the Tropic of Cancer is passed through the middle of the India. So the vertical rays or the sun falls in a vertical ray over the Tropic of Cancer. For that it is too hot. Now if you see the temperature, then the temperature ranges in between 30 to 32 degrees centigrade. Clear? 30 to 32 degree centigrade, and the highest day temperature increase as the heat belt moves further the north. And in the northwestern part of the India, if you see, means in this Mumbai part, the temperature around 48 degrees centigrade are not uncommon. Means we are experiencing very hot dry summer. So the 48 degree or 50 degree or more than 40 is not uncommon for the northwest part in the India. But if you see in South India, the hot weather is not as intense as in the North India. The moderating influence of the oceans together with the peninsular situation of South India, that keeps, if you see the peninsular situation or the peninsular location of South India, it keeps the temperature lower than the North India. So the temperature in the south, if you see, it's in between 26 degrees centigrade to 32 degrees centigrade. Is it clear? Now the pressure condition, if you will see, then in India, by the end of the May, if you see that the low pressure in the continent, like Chota Nagpur or in the third desert in Rajasthan, they have low pressure zone. Low pressure means high temperature, means low pressure zone, and the surrounding seas are cooler and develop high pressure conditions in the Indian oceans. In the third and Chota Nagpur plateau. But if you see by the end of the May plateau, but end of the May, the comparatively high pressure areas develop near a Cape Comorin extending towards the Arabian Sea. By June, inland low pressure system becomes more intense and move forwards northward with its center over the Indus lowland and Balochistan. The influx of the winds by mid-June brings about a change in the weather. Clear? And the storm and rainfall, then the hot dry weather is marked by big winds and dryness over the area, and the low pressure over the northern plains draws winds from the surrounding areas and gives rise to the thunderstorms with strong dusty winds. Okay. So in the northern India, you can see they are in the after the afternoon or in the evening, there were, if you will see in the North India or their surrounding areas, it gives rise to the thunderstorms with dusty winds. So these winds are called, in some places in West Bengal it is called Kal Baisakhi, or if you will see, Kal Baisakhi means the calamity of the month of Baisakh, and in Assam it is called Bardoli Chhera, and if you will see, then it is called different, it is called by different names in different parts of India. And if you see local winds, then in this hot dry summer season, some of the local winds which are also blowing nearby the area, especially in the north part of the area. So as you can see, there are occasional tornado like dust storms in Punjab and Haryana and Uttar Pradesh we can see in the hot dry summer. And the striking features of the hot weather season is the strong and dusty winds, which is called loo, which you can see in the afternoon periods, means after 12 o'clock to in between 4 to 5 o'clock, the hot dry winds are blowing, which is called loo. And the winds have temperature ranges in between 45 degrees centigrade to 50 degrees centigrade, which is hot enough to cause heat strokes. Now, thunderstorms cause rainfall along the Kerala and Karnataka coast also. The little rainfall that they bring is important for mango, coffee and tea plants. Somewhere the winds or that this rain is very harmful, but if you will see in recent time that there was a cyclone which was, if you will see that Kolkata people was experienced, that is so harmful for the Bengal people. But if you will see in Kerala and Karnataka coast, the thunderstorm causes which is very important for the mango, tea and coffee plants, and such rains are called mango showers. Why they are called mango showers? Because it helps the mango for ripening. So, and in Karnataka it is called cherry blossoms because it is very helpful for the uh, coffee blossoms or cherry blossoms. Clear? So today that's it, and in afterwards we will discuss in details about the southwest monsoon seasons. Thank you.